and welcome back to the newest Crypto Saving Expert live stream where we talk about the latest cryptocurrency news and take a look at the Bitcoin chart as well to see what's going on with the price. So let's first of all take a quick look at the chat. Hello, Ursham got here early, very early. Hamzak says hello as well. And Play One says bring out the Francis. Let's take a look at today's prices. So we've got $16,800 just below for Bitcoin, and we've got $1,208 for Ethereum as well. So the markets aren't looking too bad today. Let's take a look at the Bitcoin price chart. As you can see, if we look at the 1 hour chart, we had this huge bear trap last night. So this is where we see the price decline sharply, and then this is where bears or people that are bearish on the markets decide to enter a short position, and then we see a huge wick down. They think, great, we're in profit, and then suddenly the price wicks back up again and they all get wrecked. Now, we don't like bears. Sometimes I do choose to short the markets in certain scenarios, but I always just feel like it's better personally for myself when I long, because I'm less emotional in a long position and you don't want to be an emotional trader. But Christian, hello. Ursham, hello. Thank you for joining us again on today's live stream. We've got loads of news to unpack today, so let's get straight into it. But before we do, please make sure to like and subscribe and turn on your bell notifications, and go over to our Twitter as well. I will post a link to the tweet I've just put out today. If you can help me with that as well, just go over to Twitter and retweet that for us and help us with the algorithm. That would be greatly appreciated. I'll drop that into the chat, and let's head on into today's news. So first of all, we have Israeli courts permit government to seize any crypto from wallets funding terrorists. So the Israel government is now permitted to confiscate additional cryptocurrencies in previously blacklisted wallets used in funding terrorism, and the country's defense minister Benny Gantz revealed on Sunday. As Jewish News Syndicate reported, the court granted permission to the Israel government last week. Before the decision, the government could only seize cryptocurrencies directly used in financing terrorist activities and not additional funds in the same wallets. However, upon the new directive, the Israel government plans to seize additional funds from more than 150 blacklisted digital wallets used in funding terrorists, according to the defense minister. Grant revealed that since the court's ruling, the government has confiscated an additional $33,500 in cryptocurrencies from blacklisted wallets linked to the Hamas militant movement. In recent years, several terrorist organizations have turned to cryptocurrencies to receive funding from supporters worldwide. Notably, in 2019, the Hamas group started soliciting funds from supporters in Bitcoin through cryptocurrency exchanges like Coinbase, according to Globes. Regulators intercept terrorism funding in cryptocurrency. Not the same thing, obviously. Let's move on to this next article we have here. Grayscale could return 20% of investor capital if SEC denies its spot Bitcoin ETF. So Grayscale, I'm sure a lot of people have heard of this. It's a huge company and discussed a lot within the cryptocurrency space due to Michael Saylor. It's basically a company that is in traditional finance that holds a lot of Bitcoin, and they have a huge amount of Bitcoin reserves. So they have been applying to the SEC, the government, the US Securities Office, trying to make themselves a Bitcoin ETF. And this would mean that their price on the traditional stock market would be tied to the price of Bitcoin. Now, a lot of people wonder why we would have that. It seems a bit counterproductive because it means you get all of traditional finance's problems with the decentralized cryptocurrency that we're trying to move on to. But it means that traditional investors can buy into an asset that's tied to the price of Bitcoin without worrying about security, without looking after their own private keys. And a lot of traditional finance need to go through traditional methods to buy different stocks. And this just allows them to create exposure to the cryptocurrency space without actually going through all of the effort that they may not have the effort to do. So it's a great opportunity for people if there are spot Bitcoin ETFs available, but the US has not accepted a spot Bitcoin ETF. Instead of Grayscale being tied to the price of Bitcoin, it's just a company that has a lot of Bitcoin in its reserves. So they've applied for a spot Bitcoin ETF and they have been denied. now they're looking to help their investors because they have a lot of investors. It is a huge company. If we take a look at this article, popular crypto-focused Wall Street firm Grayscale Invests is reportedly exploring ways to return a portion of its Bitcoin Trust's capital to shareholders if it fails in its bid to convert the investment product into a spot Bitcoin exchange-traded ETF. So when they were aiming to become a spot Bitcoin ETF, a lot of people were investing in the products because the price of Grayscale stocks was much lower than the price of Bitcoin. So there was a huge discrepancy between the amount of reserves that Grayscale has in Bitcoin and the value of the shares. I think it got down to about 50% discrepancy, meaning if it got accepted as a Bitcoin ETF, the stock would have doubled in price immediately. But unfortunately, it didn't. I'm not sure how many people actually expected this to happen because the SEC have been very strict on this. We have Bitcoin futures ETFs, but we don't have spot Bitcoin ETFs in the US. But carrying on with this article, let's see how they're going to make up for this for their investors. Grayscale CEO said in a letter to investors that one option on the table includes a tender offer of up to 20% of the outstanding shares of the $10.7 billion Bitcoin Trust GBTC. So effectively, this means that the company would buy back 20% of the shares that are currently floating around in the markets. Such an offer would request its shareholders to sell or tender their shares at a specific value during a particular time. Grayscale's potential tender is subject to shareholder approval and relief from the SEC. The company could also consider additional tender offers if the first one is successful. However, there is yet to be a specific timeline for when Grayscale will explore the option. But Mr. Sonashine stated, I'm not very good with the names when it comes to those, stated in an interview with the Wall Street Journal that Grayscale was prepared for all scenarios. The SEC has denied the conversion of the trust into a spot Bitcoin ETF. And we've already discussed this. The GBTC is currently trading at a record 48.57% discount to its net asset value. So it holds the Bitcoin in reserves, but the stocks aren't really showing for that. Moving on to the next section of the next article here, we have Binance.us to buy Voyager's assets worth $1.022 billion. Voyager's Digital has announced that Binance.us has successfully bid for its assets worth $1.022 billion. Bankrupt Voyager Digital Limited has entered into an agreement that Binance US will see the American arm of the world's largest exchange purchase the crypto lender's assets. Binance US was selected as the highest and best bid for Voyager's assets after a review of strategic options with the core objective of maximizing the value returned to customers and other creditors on an expedited time frame. The agreement sets a path for Voyager customer funds to be unlocked. So this is the positive news that we wanted to see in the markets. We've seen so much negative news. We've seen Voyager go bankrupt, and we want to see some accountability, and we want to see some customers getting their funds back after there's been so much negativity in the markets. And hopefully soon we'll see a pivotal point for the cryptocurrency markets, and we start to see that nice bullish movement that we all like to see, where we can all throw money in the markets and see huge returns. Let's carry on with this. Binance.us, which is incorporated in Delaware and based in Palo Alto, California, successfully bid for Voyager's assets, estimated to be worth approximately $1.022 billion. The amount comprises the fair market of Voyager's crypto portfolio, plus its ongoing claims against 3 Hours Capital hedge fund that filed for bankruptcy earlier this year. Voyager Digital filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection in July of this year due to the collapse of the 3 Hours Capital. The crypto lender had approximately $650 million exposure in the now defunct hedge fund. The asset purchase agreement will set a clear path forward for Voyager customer funds to be unlocked as soon as possible. Binance US also plans to return crypto to affected customers in accordance with court-approved disbursement and platform capabilities. That is really positive news for the cryptocurrency space. If you have any questions, make sure to drop those in the chat and we will read through those at the end of today's live stream. And if you haven't already, please make sure to like and subscribe, and go ahead over to Twitter and make sure you follow us and retweet that link that I've just put in the chat as well. So let's move on to the next article here. We have Binance acquires Indonesia firm Toko Cryptos. This is a leading cryptocurrency exchange. Binance has completed the acquisition of Indonesian digital asset firm Toko Crypto, CoinDesk reported on Monday, citing an exclusive press release. So according to the report, the acquisition was in the pipeline as Binance had been the majority shareholder in the firm. So we're also seeing, although Binance is seeing a huge amount of FUD in the moment as a centralized exchange after we've seen FTX going bankrupt, we're seeing Binance push against the FUD, trying to prove that they are a platform that we can trust. And they're also just continuing building in this bear market, and that is really important to do in a bear market, so that in the bull market, they can really create a great company for us as users. So continuing with this, Binance CEO CZ revealed on Twitter that the firm just injected more cash and increased its shareholding a bit. Despite the acquisition, Toko Crypto will retain its branding. The Indonesian firm in the first crypto trading company regulated by the crypto's commodity regulator. So this allows Binance to have more exposure to different markets, and it's getting that ability to work within different jurisdictions. CZ too witty to risk his empire, said Kevin Stone. I agree. I think he's a very smart man, and I think all of this FUD isn't really phasing him too much by the sounds of things. There is a few questionable areas that we have discussed in previous live streams that are making the Binance FUD. I think it's one of those things where you could look at it, and if you look for negative things, you will find it. And if you look for positive things, you will find it. But we need to look at the details and see what we have, the facts in front of us. They're trying to be a more transparentable exchange, more transparent exchange. And if they continue to be more transparent and build on themselves and get criticism and work on that criticism, like any company, they will continue to improve. And if they do make it to the next bull market, which I'm pretty confident they will do, but that's my own opinion only, then we will see a nice big bull market for us all. Moving on to the next article, we have Elon Musk poll shows 10 million Twitter users want him to step down as CEO. So 10 million Twitter users are for the idea of Elon Musk stepping down from his role at the helm of the social media platform. He did a tweet earlier this week that said, "Should I step down as head of Twitter? I will abide by the results of this poll." And 57.5%, or 10 million users, said yes. Now, I have discussed this before. My opinion on this scenario is that maybe he knew that he wasn't going to get the results. He was going to get the results to say yes, and that he should step down. And maybe this was his way of doing so without ruining his reputation with his huge fan base, which are very, very loyal to him. I think if he just said, "I'm stepping down, I can't do this," that would have been very damaging for his reputation as someone that comes across as they can do anything. So maybe he knew this, and this was a way to continue having that reputation. Or maybe he was just overly confident and got this all wrong. Maybe he did expect for a no. But either way, this is the decision that's being made, and it looks like he is going to now step down. Who takes his place will be an interesting conversation. It'll be very interesting to see. And hopefully they can manage Twitter in the correct way, because the crypto community over on Twitter is a very interesting place to be. There's a lot of information that is shared over there, and it's just a great community. So it'd be a shame if Twitter was let down by its next CEO and we saw a move to a different platform. But someone's tweeted, "Please God, Elon, step down, get back to Tesla." I do agree, you should spend more time on Tesla. That is the company that he's flourished in, and I don't really think that it was necessary for him to step into the social media world, but here we are. Let's take a look further down this article. Elon Musk's poll on whether he should quit as Twitter CEO has elicited various responses from famous global figures. For example, former US intelligence consultant turned whistleblower Edward Snowden offered himself for the role, but only if he were paid in Bitcoin. Mr. Snowden was responded to another Musk tweet in which he explained that the problem was not finding a CEO, but a chief executive who can keep Twitter alive. Now, that would be really cool if the CEO of Twitter was being paid in Bitcoin. That would be huge exposure for the cryptocurrency space. However, only some people are rooting for Elon Musk to step down as CEO. The founder and CEO of MicroStrategy, Michael Saylor, tweeted another poll that concluded that 82% of Twitter users believed that the social media platform was better since he took over. Now, there has been a reduced amount of bots on Twitter since Elon took over. I did see a tweet that was quite funny saying it was all the bots voting yes on the poll whether he should step down or not. But let's carry on with today's news. We've got one more news article, so before I forget, please make sure to drop some questions in the chat if you have any to finish off this live stream. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And it's also newsletter day today, so I think the newsletter goes out at 11 every single Tuesday, so you may have missed today's, but to make sure you don't miss out on next week's newsletter from Crypto Saving Expert, make sure to go over to our website, cryptosavingexpert.com, and put in your email address, and you'll receive that newsletter in your email box every single Tuesday. And you'll also be one of the first people to see the site, which is looking very, very good. We're just going through a lot of user testing at the moment just to make sure we can get it perfect for you when we go live in Q1 of this year. It's all becoming very, very exciting. We've been working on this for so long. I mean, it's been over a year now, and we are now actually getting the working product that can go out to the public, so it'll be very interesting to see it all together. But make sure to go over to our website so you can be one of the first users. CZR said, don't forget to like the stream, guys. Thank you very much. Moving on to the final article, though, we have Tezos co-founder says FTX collapse is a golden opportunity for crypto builders. So co-founder and CEO of blockchain platform Tezos believes that the demise of SBS's crypto exchange FTX has provided a golden opportunity for builders in the space. During an interview with CoinDesk, Breitman opined that the downfall of FTX has provided builders in the crypto space a golden opportunity to recruit developers. Now, that is very true. The CEO pointed out that the FTX saga occurred at a time of mass layoffs from well-run companies, and those good developers have been released into the space and are available to work for builders. But thankfully, this whole affair happened while tech was sort of bottoming out, and there has been mass layoffs from really well-run companies. So, from my perspective, from like a recruitment perspective, this is actually a pretty golden opportunity. Now, we do have a huge amount of developers in the space, and because there's been a huge amount of them put into the space, people looking to build new ventures may actually have a great opportunity here, because they can't be asking for the extraordinary salaries they were asking for when there was very few within the markets, but now there aren't. Maybe some people will take advantage of that. But Breitman explained that FTX's investment decision, FTX Ventures, created exceedingly high expectations by increasing the valuations of companies. However, the entity's implosion dragged those expectations down and introduced challenges to the market, a development that she tagged pretty great. And she said a lot of what FTX was doing through its venture arm, FTX Ventures, was increasing the valuations of companies and creating extremely outsized expectations. Having expectations pulled down to earth while a lot of challenges are coming into the market is actually pretty great from a builder's perspective. So that is the final article of today. Let's take a look at the Bitcoin price to see what's going on here. We're at $16,820 and $1,212. Again, while we've been on stream, we've seen the price of Bitcoin increase. So I think our whole Crypto Saving Expert is just bullish on Bitcoin. Every time we do a live stream, we see a nice move up to the upside. So we'll continue with these. We do them every single day, Monday to Friday. So make sure to tune in. Go over to our YouTube homepage now and press notify me on the live streams for the rest of the week so that you don't miss it. And go ahead and like and share this live stream as well if you have enjoyed it. Don't forget to come back tomorrow, 11 a.m. UTC, every Monday to Friday. I hope you have enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching.